Okay, we have a big trade to announce. It may not look like this; it's that big, but it is pretty big. And you know what? When I look at this, Chicago won this. Absolutely. And the ironic thing is, I was making my 2021 review for the Chicago Blackhawks while this was occurring. So, Duncan Keith has officially been traded to the Edmonton Oilers for Caleb Jones and a third-round pick. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about Chicago's side, and then we'll talk about Edmonton's side. Chicago, you're trading away a legend. Okay, this guy has been iconic with this Blackhawks organization on that defensive area for years. He's been around since 2010. He was winning cups with the Blackhawks 2013, 2015, 2010, of course. Yeah, it's a big legend that's leaving. And look, Duncan Keith really did fall off. He's not the Duncan Keith that we all knew back in the day. And you hate to see it. Honestly, you hate to see a legend like him go. But when Chicago is in a rebuild like how they are, that stuff's going to happen. So Keith is the first of many players to be traded. Getting Caleb Jones, and that's actually pretty good. And a third round pick really doesn't hurt. Chicago, they want to generate more draft picks because you're obviously in a rebuild. You want to generate more draft picks. You want to generate the prospect pool. Obviously, they're picking 11th overall this year. But yeah, for Caleb Jones, who had a very solid season in Edmonton relatively, that is good. And here's the biggest part: they didn't have to retain any salary, none. Duncan Keith makes $5 million for the next 2 years, and they didn't have to retain any of it. Just a one and done to Edmonton. And you know what? That is really smart. And you know what? Seeing this trade personally, when I look in depth with it, I have a lot of trust with Stan Bowman and the Chicago Blackhawks organization right now for making a deal like this. On Edmonton's side, you get a solid defenseman with Tyson Barrie leaving. Clefblom is probably going to be out for the beginning of the season. So then you basically have Darnell Nurse and Ethan Bear and Matt Benning is your only. Well, not Matt Benning. Adam Larson is your only three defensemen. That's even if Larson resigns. And then you add Keith to that, you have four defensemen. So he's going to be a good mentor. And I mean, if they could keep Larson and Clefblom comes back, and they somehow keep Tyson Barrie, although we've heard that is a one and done. If they could have kept Tyson Barrie, that blue line next season could be dangerous. Although Duncan Keith is way out of his prime, but nonetheless, it's a pretty dang good trade for the Blackhawks. For the Oilers, it's not that terrible. Besides the fact that you lose $5 million in cap space with already a lot of guys with high cap hits. But yeah, honestly, I look at this trade and I don't see a bad move. In all honesty, I think this is a pretty good trade, and the fact that there was no salary retained is something that the Blackhawks definitely needed heading into this rebuild. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you aren't already subscribed, please make sure to do that. I'm sure Chicago Blackhawks fans are going to see a lot of Duncan Keith tributes over the next couple of weeks, days, however much. And yeah, thank you all for watching, for our support as of late, and I will see you guys in the next video.